And welcome to World War G. I'm Troy.
Troy is literally one of a kind. He's a goblin or a hobbit or a kobold, which is a type of gremlin.
I'm AJ.
AJ, what kind of name is AJ? What, do you race cars?
Okay. I really don't have anything clever to say at the top of the show here.
Like, usually you come in with, like, some sort of witty, saying of some sort.
Some repartee,
some back and forth. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Man, this is going to be a good episode. We're already on the same page. Well, no.
Yeah, but today I got nothing. So let's just jump right in to ABD Day. This is a new segment where we go through a few famous people that were both born today and died today.
And if I don't know them, I'm going to just say it, and then we can, learn about it.
I think most of these... Actually, I think all of these you'll probably know.
Okay.
So, start with the ones born today. February 7th, in 1804, one Mr. John Deere was born today.
The name sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. Probably familiar with his tractors.
Yeah.
His company. His company was founded in 1836 or 35. I looked it up.
Wow. They've been around for quite some time.
Long time.
They're kind of a staple. Like, you'll see I feel like you see more of their merch and little, toys than you do actually see tractors. Mm-hmm. Right? That's the direction, which is weird, that they made that transition, but it works perfectly, and since it's been a staple, why not?
Yeah. I mean, when your last name is Deere,
mm-hmm.
What else are you gonna do with your life?
Yeah.
You know? He was actually a blacksmith. Old John Deere.
Really? Okay.
Before he became a businessman.
Did he just make, lots of different attachments and stuff for his tractor?
I didn't do a deep dive on him.
Okay.
But yeah, I did find out he was a blacksmith. Born on this day in 1812, one Mr. Charles Dickens.
Ah.
Famous author. Of course did, A Christmas Carol, Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
David Copperfield, and others. I would say A Christmas Carol, though, is probably his most famous.
It's pretty iconic. Yeah, it's a Christmas classic.
It is. Born on this day in 1962, Garth Brooks.
Oh yeah.
The thunder rolls and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night as the storm goes.
Gotta say, I'm not a big country fan.
I don't go out of my way to listen to it. I don't mind it, but I won't I'm in the mood for some country.
Yeah.
That's never crossed my mind once.
Mine either. But I have heard his stuff, and it's not bad.
It's still when it was still country.
Yeah, it's not but it's not overtly country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There really is a fine line between too country and not country enough, right? You've got on one end of the spectrum, Taylor Swift over here, and then on the other, end, you've got, I don't know.
Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah. I was thinking, even older, Johnny Cash kind of thing.
Scoot boogie. See, I don't consider Johnny Cash country. I mean, I guess technically he was.
Right.
But when I think of country music, I don't think of Johnny Cash.
Oh, so you're talking more of the twangy kind of country, right? That you don't like. Okay. Mm-hmm. So either twangy or too poppy. Right?
Like Toby Keith.
Yeah.
Or, who's that guy married to Nicole Kidman? Keith Urban.
Yeah. With a name like that, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. Guys, when you say their name, you have to talk like this.
Yeah.
Toby Keith.
with like a blue ribbon, you know?
Yep.
Paps or something like
Yep.
you're holding some chewing tobacco in your back pocket.
You got a dog. Always have to have a dog.
No, unless it died.
That's true.
Or your truck died. One of them died.
Your wife, maybe your wife died.
Somebody died.
Somebody died. There's
Or
a
is
country
about
song.
to.
There's a country song. Somebody died. Oh yeah, or is about to. That's right. Grab my shotgun.
I feel like we need to like, you know how they've had a lot of crossovers? I don't think they've ever had a geeky country crossover, have they?
Welcome to Geek Country.
No,
That
I
could be
mean,
our
like,
next podcast.
Yes, that, or I was just thinking like a song or some sort of
I don't
song
think so.
mix, right?
I don't know if the Venn diagram there would. I don't know if
itself
those
up.
circles would link up, but
Luke Skywalker talking about his dad. I don't know.
that could be something to ruminate on. Maybe,
Yes.
maybe we could come up with something. Anyway, also born on this day in 1966, Chris Rock.
In order for you to get a gun in the United States of America, you should have to have a mortgage. Right. That's a background check for your ass.
Oh, nice.
Famous actor, comedian.
I just barely started the 4th season of Fargo, and he's like one of the main characters in it.
Yeah, that's another one that he can do comedy really well, but he can also be very serious.
Yeah.
He can do drama really well.
Oh, absolutely.
I always liked Chris Rock. I've never had a problem with him. I always thought he was funny.
Definitely underrated actor that doesn't get enough like recognition.
Yeah. He's huge as a stand-up comedian in that world. But yeah, I think as an actor, yeah, sometimes I think he tends to get lumped in with people like, oh, there's another, funny black actor.
Right.
Like Martin Lawrence or Chris Tucker or,
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think he's
Definitely
actually really
stands
good.
out a little bit more.
Yeah. That's all. Those were the notable ones that I saw as far as born. And there was only one I saw that was even kind of interesting that died today.
Okay.
Harvey Firestone. Can you guess what business he was in?
I am going to go with the fireplaces.
Firestone?
Oh, tires.
Tire.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep, he started the Firestone Tire Company. I think he started in, if I remember right, I don't know why. I didn't look this up, but it just hit me. I think he started in just rubber first. Like, it wasn't tires.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think when he was
He was
born.
in the rubber business.
Yeah, he was in the rubber business. Because he died in 1938. So, at the age of 69. Oh, yeah. So, he was like barely around when cars became a thing. Right before he died, cars really started to...
Like, we
blow up.
like your last name. We're going to steal it.
So yeah, that was today's ABD Day. Okay.
Let's get to This Week in Geek.
This weekend. Geek.
So, for those of you 90s kids, this might be interesting. Or for those Transformers fans. Transformers Beast Wars is being reimagined in a Marvel Ultimate style for new comic book series. So Transformers Beast Wars was a flagship point in the Transformers franchise and was a starting point for a whole new generation of fans that ignited their love for the fandom. I was included in that.
Same. I own them all on DVD.
Yeah. 25 years
Son of a bitch.
later, Fans get an Ultimate-style reimagination of Beast Wars with a brand new series by Eric Burnham and Josh Burcham. Launching this Wednesday.
Yes.
With Transformers Beast Wars #1, and I'm definitely going to pick it up.
Oh, for sure. Like, I feel like this gives them a lot more freedoms than making a TV show. They're able to kind of do anything they want. And is this going to be more of a crossover kind of a thing? Because they said like the MCU, right?
Well, no, they said Marvel Ultimate style. So if you're not familiar with the Marvel Ultimate series, it's basically they took established characters and kind of reimagined their origins as for more of a modern time.
Okay.
So you had like Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Avengers, which were this called the Ultimates. So they kind of made them darker, a bit more relevant for today's generation.
Okay.
That's the universe that Miles Morales came from.
Awesome.
He was Ultimate Spider-Man after that universe's Peter Parker was killed. He took on the mantle. But then that universe exploded, literally, and Miles Morales was the only one that managed to escape into the universe proper as we know it. So
the whole thing behind this TV show was basically like the Transformers. Their planet was being destroyed, so they get like some of them got shipped and like shot out into space and happened to land here on Earth. And whether they're good or bad kind of depended upon who found them, right? Whether it was Optimus or Megatron. Right. So, yeah, just like the original Transformers, which is exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these guys were fighting amongst each other and found their way to Earth. But yeah, plot twist, they landed in the prehistoric era. Right. So what would happen is at first they jettisoned the Maximals, jettisoned all these escape pods with all their crew. Yeah. That kind of had lifeless forms. And occasionally one of these escape pods would fall to Earth. And so it was kind of it would scan the whole area looking for the first creature, first whatever, bones. Yes. To find. And so it was kind of a race between, when that happened, between the Maximals and the Predacons to pretty much get to the capsule to bolster their ranks. Okay, so how do you make this a little bit more darker and grittier? Because there was only one real dark, gritty character in there. I guess there was a couple. Did you have a favorite? They don't really say here exactly what they're going to do. I can just imagine that it's just going to be, I think it's just going to have a darker tone. Maybe it'll be a bit more violent. Maybe they don't shy away from it so much. Yeah. Yeah. Make it so kid friendly. My favorite went back and forth a lot. First, I'm guessing you look kind of like a Cheetor kind of a guy. I did like Cheetor. Yeah. When I was a kid, I really liked Cheetor. We had a lot of them. Like, I had a Rat Trap because he was my favorite. I had a couple of... I really liked when he went all chrome and he had the wheels. Yeah. The hind legs. Yeah, that was kind of cool. And he had kind of like a sword. He always seemed kind of stealthy and... I always felt bad for Dinobot because he didn't ever transform into something else. Yeah. No. No, he did go goldish, right? Did he? I'm pretty sure he did. I think I remember seeing changed. Like... But yeah, he kind of got the shaft, but he'd go back and forth between he'd play both sides. That's whoever was winning. Yeah, after a while, I think ultimately Dinobot ended up being my favorite. Because he kind of reminded me of like a Wolverine. Yeah. He was kind of the angry loner, was always, he wanted to do the right thing, but he was always kind of being pulled into both. So exactly like you. Yeah. Loner, angry. Wants to do the right thing, but not always sure about it. Playing both sides. Oh, man. But yeah, we'll definitely have to pick that up and we'll do a review. Oh, for sure. On like the next
next week's episode.
Okay, so this next story hits really close to home.
Really close to home.
Yeah.
Literally.
Taylor Swift is being sued by fantasy-themed amusement park for trademark and infringement.
Now, hang on. Just for those listening, I'm not going to say specific names.
Yeah.
But I did not send you this story, right? You found this story on your own.
I sure did. Yep,
I did not
all by
send
myself.
it to you.
Okay.
Just for the benefit of certain individuals that might be listening that are fans of Taylor Swift.
Hey, I'm a fan of T Swift. I don't know. I don't even care what anybody says. I'll just shake it off. So, on Wednesday, February 3rd, Pitchfork reports that mega pop star turned folk artist Taylor Swift is being sued by Utah-based theme park Evermore Park for trademark infringement. They're suing for all damages, and like what the issue is they're running into a lot of problems because Taylor Swift, her new album, like her record-breaking album, is the same name. It's Evermore.
Yeah.
So when people are Googling it, they're not being able to find Evermore, the amusement park. Which, they do a lot of, like, role-playing, LARPing, that kind of stuff. Evermore, they always seem to be at Comic-Con, but, like, you never know what they're truly about.
That's right. That's why I was like, Evermore, why is that sounding so familiar?
They have, like, the really hot-looking pixie chicks that are, like, walking around handing out cards.
Yes,
They're like, give me some more mead and some ale.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
It's all coming back now.
No, if you go to evermore.com, you can find their website. I'm on it right now.
So they were saying, well, the issue is now they have to type in Evermore, Utah in order to find them. So yeah, they're suing for $2 million. Although it's looking like there's not much grounds to this and it's kind of a stupid lawsuit because they're completely different.
Yeah, plus I don't think...
I think Utah's just pissed off at, like, San Diego still about having to be called Fan X now.
I don't know if you can trademark a word like Evermore.
Well, you can trademark Comic-Con.
Well, if you make up the word, yeah, I suppose. So yeah, I don't know if their lawsuit's gonna have much water. It's not like they're a Disneyland or, something like that has a lot of... I'm sure they don't have a giant team of lawyers or anything. No. But you know who probably does? Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Going after somebody with a lot of money and a lot of time on their hands.
But if you want to know, here's what you can do at Evermore Park. You can do archery, axe throwing. There's a bird and reptile show. Evermore Park themed cuisine.
Okay.
Guild memberships. Horse and pony interaction.
What?
There's a themed train experience. In-park exclusive merchandise. Mini productions of Evermore's history and storyline. Musical character performances. That sounds great.
Yes.
Games and quests. Storyline discovery. And gothic antiquities.
Like, I'm all for people, loving their fandom.
Absolutely.
And, cause I know that, some people look at me and be like, what, you like video games or comic books and this kind of stuff? So I get it. But at the same time, this to me kind of seems like those kids in high school that wore cloaks.
Yes.
Right?
There was a kid in drama class.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's a couple years older than me. We were doing a play, and he brought in a sword. I don't know if I've told this story on here or not, but I'll tell it again anyway. Brought in a sword, and we were kind of friends. We were kind of buddies. And so he put the sword down on the stage. I'm like, I'm gonna check out this sword. So I pick it up. He flips out.
Yeah,
he flips out. Says, "Dude, why you hold my blade, man? Why you touching my blade?"
I'm surprised he didn't have a name for it.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Mjolnir, no!
This is the best part. This is what he did. I'm like, oh, my bad. And he took it and he prayed over it and then let me touch it.
No way.
I swear to God.
What?
That's
the
where he
hell?
took it. He put his hands, he was holding the sword, put his other hand like,
Father, forgive him, for he has sinned.
yeah,
He
put his
know not
other
what he
hand
does.
on the blade, flat on the blade.
Yeah, yeah.
And he bowed his head and closed his eyes for like 10 seconds and then handed me the sword, said, now you can touch it.
What? Wow. That's wow. I don't
Like,
know.
We're nerds, we're geeks.
Yeah.
But
Next level.
that's a little too.
Yeah.
He would, a lot of the time in class, sit there and make his own chainmail.
Really? Just
Mhm.
like everybody else is like knitting and crocheting and stuff, and then he's over there making. He's a fucking blacksmith. Like, just...
He's sitting there to forge or making a hammer.
I get that you can just make it like there's different styles and stuff to make it, but
Yelling
still.
at kids, do not touch my blade! My sword, Gilgamesh.
Man, I bet that kid got a ton of pussy in high school. Let me pray over it first.
I hope some girl told him that. Don't touch it.
Let me pray over
Don't you touch it yet. You gotta pray over it first. Then you can touch it.
Can you imagine stopping some girl? No!
Don't touch it!
Gotta bless the rod before you can.
Why is it covered in chainmail?
Chainmail condoms.
That'd be heavy. Here's some of the food you can get at Evermore Park.
Yes.
You can get Mojo onions.
Is that like a bloomin' onion?
I don't know.
I would
hope
imagine so, right?
You can get a Cajun or garlic truffle with a side of remoulade.
What the hell is remoulade?
I don't know. I know it's pronounced remoulade, but I don't know what it is. I've seen it on chef shows. That's hard to say. You can get lemon pepper parmesan fries, veggie spinach wrap, a croque monsieur, which is basically a fancy grilled cheese.
Oh, it's just a sauce.
Remoulade?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked like it would be for a bloomin' onion sauce.
You can get a corned beef sandwich, soup of the day, kids grilled cheese, crepes, buttermilk bourbon French toast, beignets, Monte Cristo, Mondo Cristo, Belgian waffles, and a churro donut.
I am really surprised there isn't just like a leg of lamb in the mix,
I'm
or a
surprised
big
too.
like turkey leg.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like that when you go to a Renaissance thing? Give me more meat! And
Although
hit
I have
people
to
with
say, when you and I went to that Renaissance fair,
it. Yeah.
and I had the turkey leg, I was very disappointed.
Really?
It wasn't that good.
No. Wasn't cooked properly, or the flavors
No.
were just off?
It's dark meat,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a big fan of dark meat. I don't like dark meat. I'm a white meat man.
I like my turkey legs like I like my women. Wow.
I'm not going to add to that joke. No, sir.
I'm gonna sink on this ship by myself, Troy.
So, speaking of Miles Morales,
Yes.
someone mentioned him earlier.
Dark meat? Is that is that the segue that you went with, Troy?
No.
Wow. I'm appalled.
You can't say you're appalled after I say no.
I can too. I can say whatever I want.
So, Miles Morales is getting a brand new superhero persona in Marvel's Heroes Reborn universe. In a world where the Avengers never formed, Miles still becomes a hero. However, he doesn't become Spider-Man. Instead, he becomes the all-new Falcon as part of the Young Squadron alongside Kamala Khan and Nova, both of whom also have very different roles. So,
Okay.
Marvel's, and then they go on to explain it, Marvel's next event, Heroes Reborn, is taking a bold step into an alternate timeline where the universe is much different from the normal Earth 616. The Squadron Supreme are now protectors of the planet, as the Avengers never formed. Instead, Thor is a hard-drinking, hammer-hating atheist. Captain America was never unfrozen from ice. Tony Stark never was trapped inside a cave, and Wakanda is nothing more than a myth. Marvel's superhuman Hyperion is leading the charge against numerous new threats, including Dr. Juggernaut and an Infinity Ring-wielding Thanos. The Infinity Ring. While heroes and villains undergo a drastic change, Blade will be the only person who remembers the original Marvel timeline.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
Definitely. And I do like the fact that they still went with, like, if you're born for destiny, even if you're not meant to be like Spider-Man, that you're still gonna do great things and, you know, be somebody else.
Yeah.
So Wakanda's a myth. Like, does that mean it still exists?
I don't think it exists.
Okay. People just, like, talked about this, like, you know, El Dorado kind of a place.
Right,
nobody's
right.
ever actually, like, seen it or been to it. Okay.
Right, exactly.
But Blade remembers everything. Why do they pick Blade, though, to be, like, the old, you know, guy that's the guru that they can, like, go talk to? Like, oh, I remember.
Because Blade's about to be big in the MCU.
A little bit, it does seem a little forced. Like these specific things where, oh, this is the direction that we're going with it in the movies, so let's do it with the comics.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before where we hate the fact that comics have to ride the coattails of the movies rather than comics dictating the direction that the movies go.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, because of that, you get a lot of these, like, big special events.
Mm-hmm. But they happen pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Rather than it being like once every couple, 5 or 6 years.
And that's what it used to be.
Right.
Like that was part of the fun of reading comics was you were getting several like storylines going with these characters.
And it was building up to something.
Yeah.
Right.
And then like I said, every couple of years you'd have this big event or big crossover and it'd be a big thing like, Blackest Night or, I don't remember another big event that happened recently. Nothing's coming to mind, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any of the other super, okay, so Captain America is just frozen. Does that mean they'll eventually, get him out?
They might.
Right?
They said he never was, unfrozen or thought out. It said Iron Man, is never trapped in a cave, so he probably doesn't have a change of heart. I mean, he's probably still a billionaire douche.
Yeah. That was kind of his, pivotal moment that kind of changed him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's just, a billionaire that... Oh, that'll be interesting to see where they go with that.
He's like every other billionaire in the real world. He just collects money and just doesn't really do anything with it.
So, speaking of people that are just the opposite of that, there's a 20-year-old kid that recently... So, we're all familiar with GameStop doing super, super well, right?
Yes.
Blowing up.
Yeah.
This kid, when stocks were at $30 to $80 a pop, decided to buy into it and made $30,000. He's a 20-year-old. Let's see. His name is Hunter Khan. He was a 20-year-old grad student at the University of Cornell in Minnesota. And yeah, he put some money in, made $30,000, and decided to give back and spend about $3,000 buying Nintendo Switches and games for a children's hospital there in Minnesota, which I thought was kind of neat. A way to give back, especially if you made $30,000. And I understand that he's probably got some student loans. And he's got, and they even talked about him wanting to purchase a Corvette, but he decided to set those things aside for a minute and just take a little bit of that money and spread it around.
Oh, especially if he went to Cornell, he definitely has some student loans.
Yeah.
It's an Ivy League school after all.
Unless they're all going to just be forgiven.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him.
Speaking of Switches, though, did you watch that new trailer for Bowser's Fury?
No.
So they're coming out with this new game for the whole Nintendo 35th anniversary, that basically you run around as Mario in a cat Mario world. All the different people, a lot of them, the bad guys, look like cats as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bowser goes all Super Saiyan, and so does, Mario, and it's, it looks bizarre, but it actually looks like it would work really well. It's kind of cool because, Mario also teams up with, Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
And they're meant to take on Bowser because Bowser's gone completely insane, and he's all, he looks black and ginormous compared to the rest of the world. It's he's, insanely big, but then, Mario also gets, ginormous. I don't know. It's an interesting trailer. You'll have to check it out.
Okay. It's called Bowser...
Furry?
Furry?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Like Furry?
Fury.
Oh, Fury.
Fury.
Oh, okay.
But but they're all cats.
Okay. That's a play on words.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, that's interesting. Alright. So, let's get into... Well, actually, before we get to Revs and Rex, I have a 4-year reconsideration.
Alrighty.
So, the other day, I don't get to watch TV or cable much.
Yeah.
The other day, I was chilling at a hotel, the 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
And it was really late because I still keep up my sleep schedule. And so I was watching HBO, flipping through the channels. And I saw the movie Tower Heist.
The average apartment in the tower costs $5.6 million. We have the best views, most advanced security systems, but you know what these people are really buying?
White neighbors?
Us, the staff. They pay for our full and undivided attention 7 days a week.
Morning, Mr. Shaw. Everything's set for your dinner party.
What the hell would I do without you?
Just an hour ago, the tower's richest resident was released into federal custody under house arrest here at his penthouse apartment.
Several years ago, he was asked to manage all of your pensions. Right now, they're saying that anyone who invested with Mr. Shaw has been defrauded.
Did he get your money too?
Yeah, he did.
If you need me, I'll be living in this box.
All these guys keep cash close by, but we still haven't found Shaw's safety net. $20 million and change.
So you're saying you want to rob Arthur Shaw? It's inside a building that has the most advanced security and is guarded by FBI agents 24 hours a day. We're not criminals. We don't know how to steal.
Don't worry. I know someone who does.
You made bail.
Slide. Need a ride?
Why'd you bail me out, man? I don't even know your goddamn name.
We used to get dropped off every morning for daycare.
I do remember you. You the little seizure boy that was having them seizures all the time. Nobody would have nap time with you. Nobody would do coloring with you or nothing.
Because I have a job, all right? And I thought that you might be able to help us.
What you trying to steal?
$20 million.
Let's go get something to eat. A robbery can change very quickly. You have to be ready to adapt to the situation at any moment.
I got your ski hats.
No, I said ski masks.
But the guy said these would keep us the warmest.
You're such an idiot. I need a mask. It's got to cover your face.
Anything can happen. I was on a job a few days ago where my homie got shot in the face.
Get shot in the head, it's over.
If you get shot in your head, it's over. If you get shot in your face, the bullet will go in your cheek, then come out the other side. Then what you gonna do?
Die. I'm gonna die.
You people are working stiffs, clock punchers, easily replaced.
I don't care what it takes, I will find a way to make things right.
Mate's gone rogue.
You know this is a bad idea, right?
That's it. I don't want you talking to me for the rest of the robbery.
First thing you do, you gotta find the entry point. You gotta use your fingers when you find the entry point. You married?
No, I ain't married. What's up?
Okay.
Which came out in 2011.
Yeah.
You ever see this?
This has got, what's his bucket? Loki.
No.
Tom Hiddleston, isn't there a tower? No. Oh, Tower Heist. No, that's I have seen that one. It's got an awesome cast in it where he plays a manager, right? Of a hotel, like a hotel.
Yes.
And then, they decide to, rob it.
Yes.
But it's set like in New York during the parade.
Right. So
Okay.
It stars Ben Stiller,
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Murphy, Casey Affleck, Alan Alda, Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick does a hilarious job in this movie.
Judd Hirsch, Michael Pena, Tia Leone, I forgot how you say her name. Gabourey Sidibe? She was in movie Precious.
Oh, yeah.
And her name was everywhere, and I forgot how to say it. Anyway. But yeah, it has a really good cast. I remember when I first saw it, because I watched it in theaters, and I thought to myself, this isn't that great.
I think because I saw it in theaters as well, and I still remember that one scene where he's over the top and swings down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty decent.
See, and that's why I'm doing a reconsideration, because I watched it again, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because it was really late. I don't know. But yeah, I'm sitting there watching it, and I was like, I was like, oh, this has a really good cast.
Yeah.
Movie's pretty good, has a pretty decent story. I wonder why this didn't do better. I mean, there are a few.
I think there was it came out like when there were some other big movies in the theaters.
2011. I can't think of any. But yeah,
under the radar.
Yeah, that could have been. Yeah, if you haven't seen it in a while, or you thought, "Oh, that looks stupid," like, I don't give it a shot.
Yeah,
it's a pretty decent movie. So, that being said, let's move on to our Revs and Recs.
We actually happened to see the same movie this week. This is one that just recently came out. It's called The Little Things.
Did you watch it in a theater or on HBO?
HBO.
I watched it in a theater.
Okay. See, we were going to go see it in the theaters, but we ended up seeing like another movie because it just happened to work out with the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, watched it because I'd seen that you watched it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to like check this out. Like, it's got a fantastic cast, right?
Yeah. Well, what movie did you see instead? Just curious.
Ended up seeing, it was a boxing one. What the heck was it called? Dang it. I'll think on it.
Okay. So yeah, the Little Things. This is one of those movies that was released both in theaters and on HBO at the same time, since that's a thing now.
Which I actually happen to like.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. So pretty much here, it's got a bunch of people in it, but your main cast members are Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto.
Yeah.
And I'll just repeat what I said on Facebook when I saw it. This movie, if this movie was any more by the numbers, it would be a coloring book.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was.
It honestly felt like they just kind of phoned it all in.
Yeah. This felt like an episode of CSI New York. Honestly.
Okay, I was thinking for sure that Jared Leto would just kind of like be blah. I thought he did okay. I thought Denzel Washington did all right. But I was really surprised that like Rami, he was pretty bland.
Well, see, I was speaking to him, I was looking at his performance, and I'm like, is he actually a good actor or no?
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much been his same performance in every movie he's been in.
Mm-hmm. Or whether he's like in Mr. Robot or even in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm like, has he fooled us all thinking he's a good actor? Because, I mean, at least Jared Leto was making some choices.
Right.
You know? Making his character a little interesting. Denzel Washington, I thought was just phoning it in.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of like playing it playing it safe.
Yeah. So here's the premise. There has been the string of murders. And Denzel Washington plays this guy who used to be this kind of big city detective.
Right.
But something went wrong with this one case, so he ended up being this state
mall cop.
Well, he was a sheriff.
Right.
But he was kind of a state trooper type. He left the city and went.
Yeah.
So the guy that took his place was Rami Malek, his character. And so Denzel Washington ends up going back there because he's got to pick up some stuff.
He's got to drop off some evidence for something.
Yeah. And so he kind of gets embroiled with this string of murders again because the same type of murders happening now as it happened with him when he was this detective.
That seemed like too much of a... There was too many coincidences in there.
Yeah. And so now it's up to these two guys to kind of start putting the pieces together and trying to solve these string of murders.
The whole office is basically, and all of his former coworkers are like, dude, just let him go back. Let him, so now he's Denzel Washington's taking some time off. He's living in a hotel.
Kind of working independently.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And Rami, because he's such a big all-star, he used to be, he's asking him for advice and making him tag along.
Yeah. So we see that Denzel Washington, he's haunted kind of literally by these past cases that he was doing. And
yeah. For as much, there was so much hype around this movie, and it is all over social media. You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
It was kind of lackluster.
It was. It was very average.
And I know that a lot of people were just saying, they hated the ending. Which I didn't, I don't know, I thought it was alright. I felt like with as many times as Denzel Washington said the little things, pay attention to the little things, that should have been a drinking game. But, I feel like they should have had more little clues in there and subtle things that he was to find. Because they didn't really, it was thrown in your face and easy to discover.
Yeah, well here's what we'll do. We'll talk more about it in our DLC. How about that? And we'll kind of get into the spoilery stuff and kind of dissect exactly what we liked about what we didn't like about it and that sort of thing. And we'll get into it. But yeah, like I said, it was lackluster. It was very middle of the road. Especially for these three guys that are
all-stars.
Yeah, accomplished actors.
Right.
So out of 5
hair brooches.
Oh yeah, the beret, the little red beret.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta give it
2.
I'm giving it 1.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it had kind of an interesting twist. At the very end, I was just
did it though? It wasn't interesting.
I don't know. I thought it was all right, and there was a couple of acting moments. Then okay, this is kind of dark and gritty. But yeah, maybe 2.
There was a better movie in this movie.
Yes,
that they could have told.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. Okay. That's all of our Revs and Recs this week, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow, we're only at 40 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, all right.
We kind of just whipped through everything.
What the heck was that other movie that I saw?
Well, while you're looking it up, I'll just say, for those listening, especially if you're on Podbean, remember that now starting this month and moving forward, that this will be the only episode this month that appears on Podbean.
Yes.
The other 1, 2, 3 episodes will be on our Patreon. Patreon.com/WorldWarG. All of our episodes you'll be able to listen to for just $1 a month. So it's really, really cheap. Plus, we're going to do some more planning this month about getting some more stuff on Patreon. And yeah, just having that kind of be
our staple.
Yeah, kind of the destination for the podcast.
Yeah.
So that starts this month after this particular episode. Did you find out what movie it was? No.
No.
Where did you go? What theater did you go to?
Cinema 8.
Cinema 8.
In Perry.
Oh. Perry, Utah.
I know, that's what I did. Like, that's exactly verbatim what I did.
Cinema 8. Perry.
Oh, Born a Champion. That was the name of it.
Didn't we talk about that movie last week? Or am I crazy?
I don't know, dude.
Hang on, let me look it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Born a
Dennis
Champion.
Quaid. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. There you go.
We're not crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if we have... Do we have anything we could maybe fill some time here? Anything you want to talk about?
The Super Bowl?
Oh, that is today, huh?
You completely forgot.
No, Okay, I kind of did. I remembered earlier, because I was going to text you, like, do we have to change times? But then I looked up Super Bowl time.
It's like not until 4 or 4:30.
Yeah, it's not until 4:30.
Yeah.
So, okay, I don't even know who's playing. Who's playing?
Kansas City Chiefs and Buccaneers.
Weren't the Chiefs in it last year?
Yep. They won it last year. So,
see, I know things.
So, you know who's the quarterback for the Buccaneers, right?
Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. So he left the Patriots, went over here, and took them to the Super Bowl, which is kind of crazy. The other crazy thing that I saw is Tom Brady, when he went to his first Super Bowl appearance, the quarterback for Kansas City, Holmes, he was 6. He was in 2nd grade. Isn't that crazy?
Mm.
The other crazy thing is they set where the Super Bowl is going to be played at years in advance, and it's typically when a new owner buys a new stadium and makes it better, so then they want to showcase it and show it off, right? So they'd already set this in advance, but it's going to be played in Tampa Bay. Like, so it's going to be home field advantage for the Super Bowl.
Oh.
So there's a couple of different things. That's like the first time that it's ever happened in history.
Interesting.
The history of NFL.
So, who's your pick to win?
I don't know. I would like to see, just so like he ends up retiring, Tom Brady. I would kind of like to see Buccaneers win. I'm not really a Kansas City Chief. I'm a Vikings fan, so I don't really like care that much. But I think that the score, here's my pick. It's going to be 38-34 Buccaneers.
38-34 Buccaneers.
Yeah, we'll see how close. I'll even write this down for next week.
Okay. Well,
sorry, 38-35.
38-35. Okay.
That makes more sense.
Sure.
Win by a field goal.
Okay.
3 points.
Great. Since we're talking sports,
come on, Troy, you should pick a score. So it's 3 and 5 I guess like 6 for a touchdown, 1 for a field goal, so you can get like 7 points and 3 points for a field goal. What's your score? Just throw out a number, Troy. What do you think?
I think, well, because they have home field advantage,
right?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm. And Tom Brady always finds a way to win. Plus, I think he's going to retire if he gets 7 rings.
But the Chiefs?
Yes.
Chiefs?
Yep.
They won last year.
Right.
So, I'm going to say the Chiefs.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it's going to be... I'm going low.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
To 7.
Oh, wow. That's a super low
scoring game.
Have we seen any, like, commercials debut already? Like, it's weird. In the world we live in now, I don't really watch commercials. This is like the one time a year that I'll watch the commercials.
It's the only reason I care about the Super Bowl.
Right.
The commercial. Oh, who's the halftime?
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I thought I said something about Metallica. Were they doing something for this?
What?
For halftime? I swear I saw a quick story.
Commercial?
Metallica halftime. I don't know. Okay.
Metallica halftime show to perform on special Super Bowl edition. What the heck?
So I wasn't crazy.
No.
Okay. Well, since we're talking sports, and welcome back to Sports Chat. Welcome back to the Sports Nerds.
Where we've combined sports and nerds.
Have you been following the Jazz?
I sure have.
They've been killing it.
They really have been. They're like
number one right now.
I know. Yeah. It's crazy. But as much as this pains me to say, I don't think that they're like NBA championship caliber. If
they follow the trend that the Jazz have always done, they'll get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they will choke.
Yeah. So I feel like they'll make it into the second round and they'll actually make a series of it.
Yeah.
And that's yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I can see them plowing through the first round.
Yeah.
Whoever they play.
Because, like, what happened, like, the previous year is they completely choked and lost. Like, whoever was going to face up against, I think it was Denver that it was, whoever was going to face them was just going to lose. And, yeah.
Yeah. I want to say they have a bit more confidence this year than they did last year, but...
They just need another player. One more in their lineup that's like a superstar.
They got Rudy.
Right.
They got Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't... I mean, they got Joe Ingles, but... I mean, he's your 3-point guy. He was like Hornacek back in the day.
So do they technically have a John Stockton, Karl Malone, Hornacek?
Well, I would say your Stockton and Malone is Rudy and Donovan.
Right.
Rudy and Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I guess Joe would be the new Hornacek, but you're right. They need another guy on that starting five that's kind of a superstar.
That can provide like
a big scorer.
Yeah. You know, get a double-double.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who that would be. If I was like to like grab somebody else from another team, who would I pick?
I mean, I can't watch the games, and I'm always asleep during the day.
Yeah.
So I can't listen to them or anything, so I just catch the highlights after and
same.
Catch the scores, but
or I'll just go, this is the best way to watch any sports event is you just go afterwards and watch like on YouTube. They do a 10-minute recap. Boom, you've seen the whole game. Like whether it's football or basketball.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I would love to see in my lifetime the Jazz win a championship.
Me too.
That's all I'm asking for. Like that, and I want like the Vikings. You know, I'm a true fan when I'm still like cheering for teams that have never won a championship. Just not jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, you're not a fair weather fan.
No.
Like most of the kids were growing up in school.
Right? Especially those Cowboy fans. Those kids bugged the hell out of me.
The Cowboy fans and the Chicago Bull fans.
Oh, yeah. They were just trying to be rebellious.
Yeah, and now that once Michael Jordan left the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah. Right?
Nobody cared. How about that? Merchandise of the Chicago Bulls went down like probably 80-90%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that was weird to sit here and talk about sports. I didn't feel right. It's like I was sitting here talking about guns or something.
The Second Amendment, Troy.
It almost feels like we're not manly enough to talk about such things.
What?
No, I'm saying I'm not saying we aren't manly men.
Yes, yeah.
I'm just saying it was a weird feeling. That's all. I don't talk about sports.
Ever.
That's not a thing I do in my life.
Yeah. You should, Troy, you should start up with some of your coworkers, just randomly start up a conversation like that. And it's like, hey, how about them Jazz?
Who would I even talk to about I don't even know.
I don't talk to any of my coworkers as it is.
I don't.
Like, I'm here to work. I live, breathe. Like, you're like the ideal, like, employee that just puts his head down, does his work, gets it done, and leaves.
I had an employee evaluation today, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
And I ain't bragging, but I got top marks.
Really?
Just saying.
You do this right, you do this right, you do this right. Did they have any complaints?
Only complaint was, the only thing they said I could work on.
Being friendlier? You got this resting bitch face?
No. They don't give a shit about that. Is facing the cans, which means turning the label out.
Right.
And making the aisle look pretty.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'm kind of rushed through the aisle. I don't always do that as well as I can. I do, admittedly. Sometimes I'll
think about it.
Well, because usually I have like 2 rows.
Right. So do you only have to make
the
first row face out, or do you have to make all of them? So when they take a can away, like another one pops up and it's got the logo.
Everything.
Okay.
You gotta like pull up stuff and just make it all look pretty.
Ugh.
And when it comes to cans, I do slack sometimes, but that was the only complaint.
Okay. That's not bad. If that's the only complaint, like whatever. Like,
I throw about 75 to 80 cases an hour, which is fairly quick. Especially if I have like 300 plus items.
Yeah.
Cases on my aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the inside baseball that you don't really need to know about.
Does it feel kind of like one of those jobs where it's just like, it's nice because then you've got a lot of, like, you've got some free time, you're able to do other projects, passion projects that you really like care about?
Yeah, I mean, the job's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's paying the bills.
Yeah.
And I do have quite a bit of free time. Like, I had the 2 days off just yesterday and the day before.
Mm-hmm.
I worked 2 days. I worked today and I work tomorrow. Then I have 2 days off again.
Oh, nice.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, it's a perfectly fine job.
Very nice.
All right. Now that we're done kind of basically filling time, we'll probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
So, here's where you can find us. Officially.
Dun, dun, dun.
You can find us at patreon.com/WorldWarG. I don't know if the episodes on Patreon will go to, like, Apple Podcasts. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, so yeah, definitely look into that.
Yeah, because I subscribe to a Patreon for another podcast, and it appears in my podcast feed. But if I wasn't subscribed to it, I'd only get the 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see. On social media, you can find us at facebook.com/WorldWarG podcast. You can find our merchandise at shop.spreadshirt.com/WorldWarG. You can also email us anytime,
day or night,
at worldwargpod@gmail.com. You can also text or call the show at any time at 801-747-9516. So, this has been World War G. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends. And head to Patreon.